Okay, again, we're going to talk about the Second Amendment. I know I talk a lot about it, but I can't stress enough how important it is. And as you can see, even with Donald Trump in there, who said he was pro-Second Amendment, it looks like there's an all-out attack on the right to bear arms, which is protected by the Constitution. Of course, we all know that, but that doesn't stop the criminal members of Congress and about half of our country who's brain dead to go after it. Now, we know all the false flags and everything else or any other gun crime they take advantage of and make it seem like the sky is falling. But in reality, a lot of the crime has gone down. Now, that doesn't mean it's not bad and there's not a problem. It just has gone down. Violent crime has gone down. There's statistics to prove that. So they're always going to try to make it look like things are getting out of control. They're actually trying to let it get out of control, but it's really not. Okay? So now, the British have been making claims that we should be giving up our guns, which I can't understand how the British have any say in that. Look at Britain. Their gun crime and their violent crime has risen. In fact, they have 3 times the amount of violent crime per 100,000 residents than the United States. Isn't that something? And they actually arrest people that protect themselves in self-defense. Amazing. And they want to tell us to take away our guns. By the way, guns in this country are used much, like I think it's like 80% of the time in self-defense versus in criminal usage. Okay, so guns save a lot of lives. They don't tell you about that because they don't want you to realize that you can be empowered by just having a firearm if you know how to use it and if you're prepared to defend yourself with it. Gun-free zones, always the highest crime rates. All right? So, and here's another thing that people like to say. They said militias back then didn't have the weaponry that the army had. Well, yes, they did. Militias in the 18th century, when the Second Amendment was written, had artillery. They had the same weapons the British Army used. The British Army used the Brown Bess. The American militia had the Brown Bess also. They had the same basic training, so they had every weapon that the British Army, the most powerful army in the world at the time, had. So compared to what the militias had back in the old days, we can't even compare to what the modern military has. So that's another fallacy. They're all wrong about that. Okay? So in the end, what they want to do is they want the thugs to have the guns. So you're helpless, and you're going to rely on the cops. Now, when I was a cop, crime was even worse, violent crime. I worked in bad places. I was a real cop, a good cop, and I did stop violence, but we couldn't stop it all. We can't be everywhere every time in the right place. It just can't happen no matter how dedicated you are to your job. So this is what they want. They want British guys like this, the British cops, to be your protectors or to come and help you when you need them. Just watch the end of this and you'll see who they want protecting you and why they want to disarm you. These guys are the ones that are going to be your protectors. It's laughable.